Hi everyone and welcome to episode 11 of Coffee with Cheese. First off, I hope you and your families had a great family day. If you're celebrating, we're celebrating in Ontario, as well as Valentine's Day over the weekend. And actually it was these 2 days, as well as the theme of my recent newsletter, that got me thinking about our relationship with money. And I wanted to spend a little bit of time discussing this today because, as I've talked about in past episodes of Coffee with Cheese, our emotions and our behaviors with money a lot of times end up impacting us more positively or negatively versus just the smarts and the knowledge we have around money and investments and how they work. So let's talk a little bit about our relationship with money and how to have a good one. Now, to do this, it's not going to be a book review, but certainly I did want to highlight a book that I've read in the last few years called Happy Money. It's written by Ken Honda. There is, I believe, another one with a similar title, but the one I read was from Ken Honda, and I highly recommend it. It's an easy and a fun read, right? So here are some of the notes that I kind of just jotted down when I went back and thought about Happy Money and how to relate it to this particular episode. So first, let's talk about making money, and this is really around your career and your profession. And in my opinion, this is one of the most important relationships we can have with money. So quite simply, if you're in a job, a career, a calling that you really love and enjoy, well then going back to make and earn more and more money, should just happen naturally, but it's not going to feel negative or bad when you spend the money, right? Because as we'll talk a little bit in a second, it's not about where to spend your money. It's about the joy around how you spend it, but it always comes back to, if you enjoy what you do for a living and how you earn an income, then spending it is not going to feel bad, right? So this is easier said than done, right? There's a variety of scenarios out there that have people working in jobs that they have to or they feel like they need to. But again, just give some thought around it. And it doesn't matter kind of what industry you're in or what salary range, that if you find a career that you enjoy, things will tend to flow from there. So that gets us into our second point around our relationship with money when we save money. Now, I've picked save before spend because ideally in a perfect world, we pay ourselves first. You know, when I talk about saving, these could be for short-term goals or mid to long-term goals like retirement and kids' education. But the important part around your relationship with money when you're saving it is not just think about it as, I'm putting it away and I can't spend it today. Think about what it's for. So if this is your kids' education fund, think about all the opportunities you're going to create for them by helping them get through post-secondary education, right? If this is going to be for a new property, maybe a cottage, think about all the experiences and what you're building towards. And then ultimately, when you're talking about retirement and doing all the things you love, then think about what that money is going to go towards, right? So it's not just the act of putting it away, but if you think about what it's for, it's going to be a much more positive experience for you. So let's talk then a little bit about spending your money for today. So this is a combination of living expenses, but also more so lifestyle expenses. And what's important here is where we find a lot of times people enjoy the money and spending it today is it's buying time and experiences for them. So experiences could be family vacations and just things they like to do around town. But buying time could also be just putting money into services that you don't have to do yourself, whether it's cleaning your home or lawn care or things like that, right? So not everybody's in a position to maybe be able to afford that. But think about the relationship with the money you spend today. And what's really important here, one of the most important things that is easier said than done, is don't compare yourself to others around you. Compare yourself to what you want to be and what you enjoy and the growth that you've experienced from maybe day one of starting your career to maybe you're 10 to 20 years in today. And if you see progress year to year and doing more and more of the things you want to do, then that's the most important thing, not what others around you are doing. Okay, so we've talked about happy money in terms of making it, saving it, spending it, and then ultimately, if we're able to do all of this and we have an opportunity to share it, both during our lifetimes and one day as part of our legacy and our estate, this really speaks to having a sense of gratefulness and thankfulness around the money you're earning and being positive with it, right? So couple of key examples here, if you're going to share it during your lifetime, what I've seen with clients and those around me is gifting it to loved ones, such as their kids during their lifetime. So maybe it's part of a first home down payment, right? So you can actually see family members enjoy it. But certainly there's a balance between that and what's going to happen in your estate. But where it comes from is it comes from a sense of gratefulness, being in that position in the first place, and then being able to share it with those around you. So again, in recap, think about your relationship with money as it relates to how you make it, how you save it, where you spend it or how you spend it, and ultimately how you share it. And hopefully these are just some little tips and kind of things to think about to improve your relationship with money. So as always, thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please feel to reach out, leave them in the chat area. And then as always, if you want to have a one-on-one virtual coffee with me, I'd be more than happy to have that conversation. Lastly, a reminder, a week away from my February 23rd Master Your Retirement webinar. If you're interested, message me. I'll be sure that you get an invite and are able to link in and join with us next Tuesday. Okay, thanks again for watching and have yourself a great rest of the day.